Okay, welcome to this video, friends. In this one, we are going to add the ability to sort our records. So we'll be using the order by clause here. So sorting records with order by. And keep in mind that the changes that we make here, that we see here, never affect the underlying data, okay? This is all just superficial. All right, in other words, these are only results that you see here in the SSMS, and that's it. So let's take a look here. Use my dbase, go. And now I'm going to type the following. So first, I'm going to say select star from table 1 underscore as we've done before. Select all the records and all the columns, everything. Execute that. There we are. Now what I'm going to do next is add one more record here. Right now we have only one Mary, but it could be that we have two Marys. One Mary is vice president, another Mary is an HTML developer or something like that. So let's do that. So go into the data. On the left side in Object Explorer, right click the name of the table, and then go over into Edit Top 200 Rows. Open that up. All right. And now as record with ID number 4, type a 4, type another Mary, and then just type HTML developer, for example. And that's it. So now we have two Marys. All right. Make sure you save that. Close it. So we've added one new record. Let's run this again. So as you can see, we have two Marys. Clearly, we should be able to, for example, pick out Mary number 2 and Mary number 4 here using a where clause. So let's do that. So where, for example, name equals, and because Mary is a string, it's a sequence of characters, I'm going to type here Mary between single quotes. And this will just get the Marys for us. So let's run that, execute. And we see you've got Mary here, vice president, Mary, HTML developer. And we should now also be able to sort the records. What I mean by that is, for example, look at the title. Right now it says vice president, next one is HTML developer. You should be able to sort them. So to do that, after the where, you can type order by title. Simple. All right, so let's see. Hit execute. And then notice when you sort by the title, now the first title says HTML developer and not vice president. So there's a default sort order, and it's this one here, ASC. That stands for ascending. All right, so I'm going to run the code this way, make sure everything's selected, hit execute, and it says HTML developer followed by vice president. But if you type here DESC, that means descending. So run it this way, highlight everything, look carefully at the title. Now vice president comes first and HTML developer comes second. All right. You can also do this with the ID. Take a look. So I'm going to erase this for a second. And I'm going to type order by ID this time. So look at the ID column. Right now it says 2 and then 4. So run it here. And as you can see, ID is still 2. The next one is 4. And now we can flip. So type it by ID descending. That means bigger values come first and lower values come next. So run it one more time. Look at the ID column carefully. And you see 4 comes first, and then ID of 2 comes next. Okay, so we're just ordering by. And I'm going to make some comments here. How does this actually execute? Well, that's the next comment here, important step. So logic order of execution. So 3 will be this one. You begin with the from, grabs the table. And next stage here, where selects the records you want. So you're filtering on that. Next stage here, select, grabs columns essentially. And lastly, order by sorts the records. All right, so it looks like that. Again, it's theoretically, it hasn't been designed to run the way you read it from left to right. There's a specific sequence. So from, followed by where, followed by select, and then lastly by order by. You wouldn't know that just by looking at it, so something has to be learned, that's all. Now, take a look at this. On the left side in Object Explorer, if you expand the indexes folder, see it says there something. It says pk underscore table 1 underscore and then clustered. You see? The clustered means that we've applied an index to this table. And the benefit of an index, of a clustered index, is that it sorts the data physically according to the index. The index is like a little mechanism for finding records more quickly. So for example, when you have a physical book in your hand and you need to find a word in the book, you can go back to the back of the book, you can locate a word, and then you can use that. It tells you the page number, and you can find the word on that page. So it makes it faster. If it wasn't that way, you would literally have to go through the whole book, scan the book every time just to find a word that interests you. But if you have an index, you look in the index, it tells you the page number, and you go there directly. That's a simple practical benefit of an index. And here clustered simply means you're allowed to have only one index that physically sorts the data, so the data is sorted physically the same way. And everything is faster because of the existence of the index, as I've described with the book example. And one more thing I want to show you is, take a look. So with this selected here, up top, in my case, right-hand side, I can move these, of course, if I want. You see, I can pop them over here. I can move these. There are little dots over here. Once you see a cross up here, then you can left press and just move it. Move the whole little toolbar and place it somewhere else. So I've moved mine. Select this icon here that says include actual execution plan, Control plus M. Have that selected and then rerun the query. So hit execute again. And look at the execution plan. It's a new tab. And when you look at this, it reveals something. It says here clustered index scan. And it says that the cost is 100%. That's the expensive part, you see? Scanning the index, finding the information. Now, where it says cost 100%. Let's refine this a little bit. Take a look here. So besides just saying this, I'm going to say where Mary for the name. And if I want to pick out only a certain record, for example, like the Mary who's a vice president or the Mary who's an HTML developer, I can type where name equals Mary. And then I can specify one more condition to be applied to the where. So to do that, I can type and, for example, title equals vice president. So as you can imagine, this will pick out this record right here. Record number 2, because it's got Mary in the name field and vice president in the title field. And now we're filtering by 2 fields. So let's run it. You don't need to order by anymore in this case, because we will have only 1 record, so there's nothing to order. Alright, run that. Execute it. And notice that the record number 2, Mary Vice President, only shows in the results set. Alright friends, and that is it for this one. Under lesson resources, I do have some nice pictures where everything is illustrated that we've done here step by step. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next one.